Hey everyone, it's May and welcome back to my channel. In these study abroad reflection videos, I'm going to be going over every aspect of my time in Paris, France with ISA, the program that I studied with, from academics to travel to housing, you name it, to hopefully give you guys a better idea about what it's like to study abroad for those of you who are interested or who are already planning to go. Please keep in mind that my experience is very unique, even with my own program, because there are just so many different options for what you can do while you're there. I hope you guys enjoy these videos and that they're helpful. Let's get into it. Hello friends, today is going to be my last study abroad video. I know I said my reflection video was going to be my last one, but I started writing down all these things that I wanted to go back and refilm and add into that video, and I was like, you know what, let's just make a separate video called General Tips. So let's get into it. The main thing that I want to talk about is how to strike the balance between pushing yourself out of your comfort zone while also knowing your limits, because if there was a lesson I learned during study abroad, it was definitely knowing my limits and how important that is. So obviously when you're studying abroad, you want to push yourself outside your comfort zone. You don't want to put in all this effort, because believe me, it is some freaking effort to study abroad. You don't want to put in all this work to go somewhere where you're not even going to experience anything and you're going to be locked in your own bubble and not making friends or doing anything. Obviously, you want to push yourself to try new things. If you're in a different country, there's going to be new people, new places, new foods. You want to try to lean into it as much as possible so you can just get as much out of this experience as you can. If you know someone already, that's great. I didn't. I actually knew no one going over there, so like I emailed with my roommate a little bit beforehand, and then having her was really great. You know, our orientation would be all day and we'd both be like talking to different people, and then we'd all get together and go, you know, see the Eiffel Tower at the end of the day or whatever, or just walk around, go check out a new bakery. So if you guys have something like that where it's like an orientation week, really use that. Like, talk to people, try to make friends. Like, I know it's small talk, and if you're someone like me who's introverted and just likes, you know, comfortable friendships where you already know the person, small talk is really hard and can be really boring and you just want to get past all that. But it's really important, you know, just ask people, you know, what's your major? How long have you been studying whatever language it is in your country, and just try to get to know them so that then you can have friends once school starts and, you know, friends to travel with and stuff. Also, just try to see as much of your city as possible. Just like explore, even if it's by yourself. Exploring by yourself can be some of the most fun times, I swear. Just like if you see that there's like this neighborhood on the map that looks cool, just go explore it, go try new foods, just explore as much as possible, because living abroad is such an amazing opportunity that can be pretty rare and it's just special. And then on the other side of that is to know your limits. This might seem contradictory because I'm just going to go through and say different things than what I just said, but it really is striking a balance between the two. So as much as you should try to explore the new culture and embrace the new culture, you also need to do things that make you feel like yourself. Whether that is doing something from your morning routine, like if you usually gratitude journal or stretch during your morning routine or do a bit of yoga, see if you can still do that. For me, it was doing Zumba. I found this app called Affordable Yoga where you can find like yoga and Zumba classes. They were pretty affordable. It was like $6 something per class, and it turned out that a lot of my other friends actually liked doing Zumba too, and we'd go together, and sometimes I'd go alone. It was pretty far away. It took like an hour to get there by metro, which was not very convenient, but it was so fun. Like the first time I did that class, I was just so happy because I hadn't done it in so long, and it just made me feel like me again, because it was something that reminded me of home so much, and the class was in English too. I remember just like at the end of the class when we were all stretching, I was like, this is it, like I feel like myself again. You're just gonna be in so many different situations that it's just good to be like grounded like that. And then as much as you should try to make new friends and explore the city, make sure you also know when to say no. Like definitely get out there as much as possible at the beginning, but then once you've kind of like settled into a routine, like you don't have to sightsee every day. I know a lot of people felt guilty like taking rest days or whatever because it's like, oh look, we're in Europe, but it's like I was literally burning out in February. I got sick, which was my first sign to slow down. But then after that, again, there was this weekend when I was just like, oh my God. Like I've just been like, go, 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 go. And it's okay to have a day where you just stay in bed or stay in your house or whatever. Like, it is okay, like you're allowed to do that in Europe. I remember the first day I decided to stay home, like my friends went out and went somewhere, and I just stayed in the room. I used Abby's Netflix to watch movies, I danced around the room, and I ate rice for dinner in the kitchen. That was my day, and it was so important because then I could have more fun the next week instead of being this like stressed out burnout mess. It was very important for me to recharge, especially as an introvert, because being out in the city with crowds and people, it was too much for me to do that every day. And obviously it's not like you're sightseeing every day, but you're at school, like you have like the weekly grind going on at the same time, and that in and of itself is exhausting. Traveling is a lot of work. That's a lot of stress. If I had just gotten back from a big trip, I usually didn't do anything like major that week except just like go to class or, you know, whatever. And then as much as you should try new things, don't do anything that doesn't align with your values or who you are as a person. You don't have to try something just because everyone else is doing it. Like, it is okay to say no if you don't want to do something, like for sure. Like, I don't drink, and that's never been an issue at home because I'm 20 and I don't go out. Even if I did, I couldn't drink because I'm not 21. Like at frat parties when I went like freshman year, I just didn't, and no one cared. But in France, it was like a big part of the culture, and it wasn't an issue at home. Like, our host mom asked me and my roommate on the first day, like, do you guys drink? And I was like, no, I do not. And it was like a non-issue. She just said, like, there's wine at dinner sometimes, I can pour it for you if you want, but you know, whatever. But it was just really hard with my friends when we'd go on trips and have like tastings like that were organized, because I was literally the only person in my program that didn't drink. Everyone else was thrilled that the drinking age was 18 and super excited to drink, and that was great for them. I have nothing against other people drinking, but it was just like, I always felt awkward, and people would ask me why I wasn't drinking. Like, no one pressured me, but people were just curious, like, why don't you drink, you know? And it was just, I was like tired of having to like explain myself over and over, and I just felt like very out of place. But I knew that as hard as that was, I wasn't gonna drink just because everyone else was doing it, even though that would have been easier. And that's like kind of the point I'm trying to make. Like, it would have been so much easier to just do it, or it would have been so much easier to just download Tinder or Bumble so I could be swiping through it when everyone else was swiping through it instead of just staring off into space and being bored. But I didn't, because those things aren't me. They're not things that I want to do, and I wasn't just gonna do them to like fit in. So basically the point is to just strike the balance between those two things, and hopefully that made sense to you guys. I hope I explained it well enough. And then just for other tips that are just like random general things, I mentioned this in my reflection video, but bring medication, because at least in France, they didn't have the same things we did. So like, bring a little bit of everything. Like, bring some ibuprofen, some Sudafed, some Excedrin, Dayquil, NyQuil, etc. Like, whatever you think you might need, because you will get sick. I swear. Happens to everyone. Like, we all got sick. Like, everyone in the program got sick. And then also bring travel sizes of all your products so that you can use them until you get full-sized ones. And then you can also use them when you travel. Only bring full sizes of something that you absolutely need, like some like weird brand of shampoo or something that you know you couldn't get over there. Like, I have a clarifying shampoo that I really like, so I brought like a bottle of that. Not even a full size, because I was only there for like 3.5 months, but like a bigger than a travel size so that I could have it the whole time. And then just be flexible. Things are going to be different, obviously, because you're in a different country, but like, things you're not even expecting to be different will be different. Like, they're not gonna have that food you want at the grocery store. Like, I was settling in to have a movie day one day and realized that none of my streaming services worked in France. I was so frustrated. I ended up using my roommate's Netflix, like, it worked out, but you just have to find ways around that. Communicating with people is going to be hard. I remember just being so discouraged sometimes, like out in the world, when I'd be talking to someone and they couldn't understand me, or I couldn't understand them, or they'd just give up and start speaking to me in English. And it's hard to deal with, because those things, we don't have those sort of problems in an environment that we're so familiar with. But just know that you're being so brave if you're out there studying abroad, and just keep your head up and keep trying, and you'll get through it and it'll be amazing. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is truly the end of my study abroad videos now. I just had so much to say about my experience, but thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to give y'all any advice if you want it, or answer any questions you have. And yeah, I make new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I will see you next time. Bye.